Hello, my name is Gemma and welcome back to my new booktube channel. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys all about how to read more. I know this is weird, it is only my second booktube channel video, but I used to be that person that would never read. In high school, I never read any books. I only ever read the books that we had to read for school. I did actually read these books here. These are the Harry Potter books. I did read those in high school, but yeah. But I also was that person that would go towards watching the video or the movie or the TV show version of the book, like Pride and Prejudice and stuff like that. But after I left school, I ended up reading a little bit more. In high school, I was that person that would read and listen to an audiobook at the same time, which is good, but it's also not great. But then a few things happened and I learnt that dementia and Alzheimer's does run in my family. So I have decided that reading is a good way to prevent that because it keeps your mind fresh, and one of the reasons why a person in my family got the disease was because he just stopped doing anything. So I've now decided that I am going to continue reading. I like to be able to read probably a couple chapters or books a week. I have never really been into that physical reading type person. I've always been listening to the audiobook and physically reading, or I listen to audiobooks on my drive to work. But now I've sort of decided that I need to actually physically read some of the books that I do want to read. So even though they may take 3 times as long, because I am a slow reader personally, and I do listen to my audiobooks on between 1.5 to 2 times the speed. So yeah. But getting back to the video, I'm going to tell you guys a couple of tips on how to read more. I haven't written anything down. This is just going off that whim. So let's start with tip number 1. Audiobooks. They're a great thing. As I was saying, I listen to audiobooks on my drive to work and my drive home, and when I drive to see my mum. I go down, so I live about 2 hours away from my mum, so I don't go see her very often, but a 2-hour drive, I get to listen to about between 3 and 4 hours of an audiobook. So that is a great thing. And actually, I went to see my mum this weekend, and I listened to an entire book. I listened to the book going down to see her, and then I walked my dog, or her dog, that night, and then I drove home and cooked some food because I meal prep, and I didn't feel like turning on my TV, so I listened to the audiobook and I finished it while I was reading. So while I was cooking, not reading. So that's another way to get more books read, is audiobooks. I do subscribe to Audible. It is great. I have done Scribd, but Scribd is really weird that they limit the amount of audiobooks that you can read from each genre and each author. It was really weird, so I ended up giving that up this month. I was only going to have it for 1 month for its free trial, but then I ended up having too many books that I loved, and yeah. So yeah, Scribd I do. I like Scribd, but of that thing, it was just not really worth it to me anymore. But given that I have probably spent a lot more money buying some audiobooks, because I buy Kindle with audiobooks sometimes, and you can also buy like extra credits from Audible as well. So, and all of these audiobooks you get to keep, and Kindle audiobooks go onto your Audible account, so it's great. So I kind of spend a lot of money on audiobooks, but I love audiobooks, so that's how I get all my reading done. Tip number 2 is instead of watching TV and stuff like that, I read my Kindle or read a book. While I was with my mum this weekend, her husband was watching the TV and I just didn't want to watch what he was watching, so I grabbed out my book that I took with me, which is the Black Flamingo, and I started reading that, and I got some of that reading done. Number 3 is read something before you go to bed. I used to be that person that would watch TV right up until the time that I went to bed. And yes, sometimes, some nights I want to do that. Some nights that's what I feel like doing, so I do that. But not every night. Because I've recently moved out to live on my own, I have bought a couch and I have my own separate bedroom, which if you see my hands, that's where each thing is. So I moved from the couch to my bedroom, and I don't actually have a TV in my bedroom because all it has space for is a bed. I do have my laptop, which I do watch some TV and some YouTube on it, but the majority of that I watch on my TV. So that's why I keep my Kindle, and I actually move my Kindle from room to room, so I have that to read. And it's also a good thing to have a Kindle because of the light that it has that comes off it. You don't need to have like a lamp or like a torch on, so you can read at nighttime. And even if you have like a spouse or something, you're not going to disturb them. Tip number 4 is keep your phone or anything that would be distracting, like a TV, like your remotes for your TV, like put them away. And like even set a timer on your phone, just so you block out some time and you have that time each day to read. Tip number 5 is if you don't have time on the weekdays, read on the weekend. Like, I understand some people probably have families, have kids, have maybe jobs on the weekend. Whatever you do have, or if you really need to catch up with family and friends, you don't need to do that every single, like, all day, the whole weekend. The last few weekends except for this weekend and next weekend, I have not really had much on. Like, yes, I've caught up with friends, I've caught up with family, I've gone out for dinners, I've gone out for lunch, that sort of stuff. But still, like, I still make time to read, I've made time to start my YouTube channel, and yeah, you always can make time. You don't need a lot of time to read. Yes, I'm not a very fast reader, like a physical reader. So maybe reading a chapter for me may take like 45 to an hour. Whereas for some people that could take between 15 and half an hour, depending on how long the chapter is. So yeah, I'm not a fast reader, but I'm not saying you have to be a fast reader to read. Audiobooks are great for that sort of stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was all over the place. I know I didn't write anything down, but I always find that that's the best way that you can do this sort of tip video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because it means a lot to me, and I would love to create our booktube community. Okay, thanks guys.